Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's look at different ways that you can move, rename, and duplicate files in Mountain Lion. Now, for a long time, up until Lion, the basic functions of handling files, like renaming them, moving them, remained about the same. And with Lion, things changed, especially in the File menu, and then with Mountain Lion, they changed again. And a lot of people feel that some functionality has been removed or things have changed and they're not the way they like them. But in fact, in Mountain Lion, you have more options than ever before. So it's just a matter of learning how to use them and seeing which functions you want to use to be able to manipulate your files. Let's take a look at all the different ways you can do things. So in the Finder, things are about the same as they've been for a long time. If you want to move a file from one folder to another, you simply drag it there. And if you want to copy it to another folder, you Option drag. Hold the Option key down, drag, and it leaves the original in place, puts a copy there. If the other folder is on a separate hard drive, this one down here is on a different hard drive than this folder, then doing the move will do a copy. It assumes that you don't want to remove the file from this hard drive, but instead want to put a copy there. Now, you actually can reverse this today with Mountain Lion using the Command key. If I drag and hold the Command key down, it will actually basically do the same thing, except it will delete the original. So in effect, it basically moves the file to the other hard drive. Now, to rename a file, there are many ways to do it. The way I like is select the file, hit return, and then you can start typing a new file name. You can also, after the file is selected and you waited long enough so it's not a double click, you can click again on the name itself and change the file name. So that's how you change the file name. You can duplicate a file in the same folder by using Command D or its file duplicate right there. And you get another one with a slightly different file name, since they both can't exist with the same file name, and you can change this one to what you want. Now, when you're editing a file, you have several different options. It used to be that all you could really do was select Save, which would just save the current version over the previous version, or you could do Save As, which would allow you then to choose a new location and a new name, if you wish, for the file. Now you can do a lot more. If you go to the File menu, you've got all sorts of things in here. So for instance, you can still do Save, and Save actually saves a version using a modern Mountain Lion app. So for instance, if you're using TextEdit or Pages or one of the other iWork apps, it would actually save a version, which means you'd have a history there. That's a whole different subject, but you don't have to use Save to actually save something. So for instance, here I can, without using Save, I can type another line and quit. And then if I were to run TextEdit again, it would resume, and you could see it actually remembered that I typed that even though I didn't save it. It's not actually saving it when you quit, it's actually saving it as you work. So even if somebody trips over your power cord, it's going to remember all but maybe the last second or two of what you've been working on. Now you also have some other options. For instance, say you want to rename a file. In Mountain Lion, you can actually do it while the file is open, something you couldn't do before. So you can hit rename, and you can see how it selects the file name here at the top. So I can actually change it now, and it's basically the equivalent to doing a Save As in the same location but with a different file name. And I didn't have to mess with the new Save File dialog box. I just changed the name. Another thing you could do is you could do Move To. So again, this is with the file actually open. I can go and choose a different location for the file. So in my Documents folder, I can say put it right at the top level of Documents folder. Now that's where it actually is located. So if I were to go back into the Finder here, you can see it's no longer in Home Docs. I go to the top level of Documents folder, and it is now moved there. And I never had to go into the Finder. I never had to do a Save As and put it in a new location and then delete the original. I actually did the move with just that simple command. So what about duplicate? You can actually duplicate the file with it open. It'll create a second version of it here. So you still have the original, and now you have another document open there, and when I first go to save this one, it's going to ask me where I want to save it to. So I don't actually have to go into the Finder, duplicate the file, and open the file up. I can do that all with just File Duplicate. So far what we've seen is with Mountain Lion, you can duplicate a file, which previously you would have had to actually go into the Finder and duplicate it and then open it up. You can also change the name of the file. Previously you would have had to Save As and then go back and delete the original. And you can move to, and you could use save as before and then have to go and actually delete the original. But what happens if you want to duplicate the file with a new name and possibly a new location? That's exactly what save as did before, and you can do it now under Mountain Lion as well. The key here is the save as function is hidden under file. You hold down the option key and you can see the duplicate changes to save as, and this works just like save as did in Snow Leopard and before. So in the past, if we wanted to duplicate a file, rename a file, move a file, or any combination of those from within inside the document editing window, we had to use save as and then basically use the Finder to clean up whichever functions we didn't want. Now with Mountain Lion you can actually do all of those individually without having any cleanup at all. And if you want to actually do all of those at once, you can still access the save as function. So with Mountain Lion you've got more options than ever before. It's just a matter of figuring out how you work and which of those functions work best with the things that you want to do. Now you can also do a lot of this in the title bar of a document. So for instance here we have the title bar and I click on it and I get rename, move to, and duplicate right here at the top. Choose rename for instance, and it's very easy then to focus right in on renaming the file. They work the same way as the options to file menu, just a little easier to access. And in many cases you may not want to do any of that while working with the document, and you simply close the document and do it in the Finder as you may have done before. And also keep in mind, of course, all these new functions, they are dependent on the app itself being updated for Mountain Lion. So if you're using an older app, say like Microsoft Office that was last updated for Snow Leopard, well you only have the old save and save as functions. But if you're using something updated like say Pages, Numbers, Sketchbook Pro, things like that, you've got all of the new functions that I just demonstrated. So I hope you found this useful. Till next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. Want more video tutorials? Just go to MacMost.com, click on the videos link at the top of the page, and then you can view all of the hundreds of MacMost videos by category.